Hey guys, Captain C.A. Richardson of Flats Class YouTube. And what am I doing with a piece of paper in my hand? Well, actually making a checklist. Tarpon season is winding down. I'm getting ready for the ICAST trade show in Orlando, Florida. And then I take off for Cajun country, Louisiana. A question we get this time of year all the time is, what outfit can I be using to really catch the big fish? Because summer is the time for monster fish. Well, the answer is there's no one rod and reel setup that you can use. I mean, you're going to have to use different setups for tarpon than you would for most of the other large fish that you will encounter. But if you are going to encounter big jacks, bull redfish, big black drum, snook, you're going to need something that's a little beefier than the typical flats outfit that you use for redfish and trout around here and in many places along the upper Gulf Coast, and even up through the Carolinas on the Atlantic side. So there is one setup that I like to bring out to Louisiana for clients to use to catch some of these bigger fish. And I'll still take tarpon gear out there. But the lesson that everyone learns every year when they want to bring their own gear out there is their stuff is way too light. I mean, way too light. In fact, while I go get what I think is the ideal setup for most situations where you can fish the inside ponds, the outside waters, catch snook along jetties and stuff like that, you watch Eddie Kabler from Jacksonville struggle with this really light tackle outfit, catching a tarpon in the St. Johns River, and I'm going to go set the rest of this stuff up. This episode of Flats Class YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring. We don't got much water out either, so 11 feet. Something's got to give. There's the shallow water right there. All I can say is MirrorLure builds one hell of a plug.
Trout plug.
Build this plug to catch trout and redfish and the occasional snook, and see if I can see this thing show up in a second here on my Raymarine. You pulled off?
Thank God. Thank God. Whew.
All right, well, it was obvious that Eddie had his hands full. That's right. I mean, he was kind of overmatched in that depth of water with a high-end trout and redfish setup, rod and reel setup. But, he gave it his all, but he's learned a lesson to expect the unexpected. All right, so I'm gonna break down what I feel is the ideal setup for tackling these monster fish of the summer. Now, I don't expect you to have to set the bar so high that you're throwing tarpon gear for bull reds, jacks, and snook. I'm just saying, pick something out that you have a shot at catching, juvenile tarpon to medium-sized tarpon. When I say medium, 40, 50 pounds. You can catch all the bigger fish that we typically encounter during the summer months. So let's break it down terminal tackle first. I'm out there in Louisiana, and a lot of the big fish we target on the outside, well, we catch them on top water. And you can see I've upgraded those inline hooks. That's right. And I've even upgraded the split rings that attach it to the plug. These are 3/0 inlines. When I'm throwing soft baits for snook, I like to throw these giant 5 and 6 inch swim baits. You can see how beefy the hook is in this redfish eye. It's like a 4 or 5/0 hook, heavy duty HD. If you're fishing natural bait for them, fish a stout hook like a 5 to 7/0 circle hook that's made from some heavy duty gauge wire. Now it's beginning to rain and that's why I'm home today. So to wrap this up, you go watch some more video of us catching some fish in Louisiana, and I'm gonna break down the rod and reel next. Dude,
That was sick. That was so sick.
that's a good one there.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good one there.
Holy shit. Wow.
Deepwater red fishing is. Yeah, I'll take that. Caught that in 1 foot of water. Sight cast.
Big.
Oh, this one here is going to be a 36, 37, 38 inch fish. Easy that big. Have to go run this one down. Stay tuned. Well, as you can see from my Yeti buddies there, Jake and Joe, battling that bull redfish in such shallow water with grass, both subaquatic and above the surface with the marsh. You've got to have a rod, and you saw how close quarters that was, that will really control fish from diving under the boat or getting under the motor. I mean, there's a lot of stress when you're fighting fish, you know, this time of year. You want to land them quickly for a number of reasons. If you're tarpon fishing, you're worried about sharks getting your fish. You know there's extended high water temps right now, so you want to beat the fish fast so they have a good opportunity to recover and go on bringing, well, all of us more exciting catches. So we talked a little bit about the terminal tackle in the first little clip. Let's talk about the rod. Now, I chose a rod that I felt like overall was a good choice, both economically and from a performance standard. And I picked this rod because it's tough. I fished the clients with this rod because it's tough. It's hard to break. And what rod am I talking about? I'm talking about the Terramar PX. Now, you've seen me do an awful lot of videos on the Shimano Terramar XX. The difference with the PX is it's built with not quite the same components, yet it's super tough. Probably the best technology that we have in this rod is the fact that it has high power X. And what does that mean? Well, that allows me to throw these chunky baits because it still stores and unloads without risk of breaking a guide or ripping off the tip when you're throwing these bigger baits, big topwaters, big swim baits. If you're slinging live bait like pinfish and mullet and ladyfish that we all use this time of year, you're gonna need a rod such as this. Now, I chose a weight that's more of the medium heavy, and this is the model number on there that you can check out. You can look up all the specs, or Cam or Giovanni will put that in the description below. But this is a 7-foot medium heavy rod. It's got the Sea Guide tangle-free guides. It's got kind of a hybrid grip here that really, when your palms are sweaty and you're handling a lot of slimy fish, black drum, this time of year, it's got a great grip. It's got Fuji reel seat on this rod. It's a nice rod for about the $200 price point. Now, I like the medium heavy. because it still gives me that rigidity, if you will, with the high power X technology. Because not only is that a great technology for casting, but for fish fighting, especially when the fish are tight to the boat. You're battling snook, you're battling big jacks that dive under the boat. I mean, you need a rod that you can control these fish with close to the boat and whip them. I mean, these are not like 5-minute fish fights. Oftentimes they're like 10-minute fish fights, which is a long time when you're fighting a fish on medium heavy gear. I'm talking about high quality fish, like this jack that Clay caught and this monster redfish that Monkey Mike caught. You go look at these two fish, and I'm gonna tell you more about this fishing reel when you come back. Now that is a jack. That's gotta be a 30+ pound jack. Unbelievable.
Awesome.
Hey,
He survived the sharks.
rainy day fishing. Yeah, we've been beating off the sharks. Give him a good throw in the water and we'll let him go. He needs to go head first. Nice.
Good job, Cap.
All right, this fish here is 46.5 inches long and 27.25 around. That is a beast. That
Dinosaur, man.
Monkey Mike takes the 2020 record. I'm saying it right now, no one's close. No one is close at all.
Good pictures, Dave, the whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do a release. I told you, that is why you have to use the right combo to be able to tackle fish of that class. Did you see that jack? That was a stud jack. Clay was so worn out after that jack fight that he literally, I don't think he could write me a check at the end of the day. I think I just told him to send me a credit card number. That's how long that battle was. And Monkey Mike, with that incredible, swamp donkey that we caught there, unbelievable, just great stuff. But another reason why you have to understand that Terramar PX is such a great enhanced strength, durability of the rod, and at a price point that many of us can afford. Now, next up is basically the Twin Power 4000. This is the XG, this is the XD series. So what's different about the Twin Power XD series? One, yes, I know I'm gonna have a few haters out there talk about how expensive this reel is. But for me personally, I love this reel. Of the 3 Magnum Light reels that we have in the Shimano lineup, which is the Vanford, which you guys know I love for Ned rigging, the Xsense, and then there's these Twin Power XD Magnum Lights, the MGLs. They're unbelievable. They're lighter, they're stronger, they're super durable. They're very resistant to saltwater corrosion because of the labyrinth system in the X-Protect technology that they put in here. And what that does is it's kind of a maze of channels that makes it very difficult for saltwater to get inside this reel and past the seals. So, if you're looking for a reel that's gonna hold up year after year, this is definitely the reel. And when you break that down, that does make this an affordable reel. The reel weighs about 8.5 ounces. It has all the features that you would expect to see in a Shimano product of this price point. The Hagani technology, which is the rigidity, the lightness, but the strength, so the reel doesn't twist. You don't have any twisting. The cold forged gears. Talking about the gears, the micro module gear 2 system that has been put in place makes this so smooth and so silky. You combine that with the MGL rotor that they put on this. You know how a lot of these heavy reels that you get that are in this class but weigh a lot more, you know how they're stiff when you get to start them up? The startup inertia of this reel is like right now, and it picks up like 40 inches of line. It's just incredible. We made the spool a little longer on the XD, so now that little bit of length on the spool allows for smoother, longer casts, and it lays the line on the spool perfectly. It also features, like most of the Shimano reels, that cross carbon drag washer system. What does that really do for you? Well, when you're fighting jacks like the one that Clay had, and in the snook that I'm going to show you in another clip here in a second, I mean, you appreciate being able to dissipate that heat and not having that grab. It's just zzz, and then once you turn the fish, then you can pull them right back. It's just one of the many features they've packed into the Twin Power XD 4000 XG that I love. All right, enough of me telling you how you can obviously tell I love this reel. You go watch my wife, myself, and Captain Cody Pierce release this giant snook that we caught, well, on my wife's birthday. I kind of stole the show, but on my wife's birthday. You go look and check this snook out. It was about 35 inches. It was a true stud. Another reason why you gotta have the right combos to fight fish like this. And then we'll be right back and talk about what we're gonna do next.
Tell me when.
That is just gorgeous. Captain Cody Pierce put us on a toad today. Right here at the end of the day, throwing a prototype swim bait from Z-Man. Just an incredible day of fishing. We caught a lot of snook today. A lot. My wife's birthday, but I guess I got lucky. I love to see these things swim away. She's gonna swim right away. There she goes. Oh, Cody. That's it. Happy birthday. I gotta be honest, it was hard to hide my enthusiasm for that catch. Really was. It was my wife's birthday, and I end up getting that caliber of fish on her birthday. Yeah, you can imagine the flack I was taking. Thankfully, Captain Cody Pierce, who all of you should go fishing with the next time you're in Southwest Florida, smoothed things out for me. Hey, this is what summertime's all about. It's about monster fish. And the whole idea behind this video was to show you that if you pick the right combo, the right rod and reel setup with the right terminal tackle, you can accomplish some amazing catches. I can't tell you how many times all of you reach out to me and say, man, I broke off biggest snook of my life. Man, we were bull redfish on the Dixie Bar in Alabama, and I was just outgunned. I was tarpon fishing, but I had my snook gear. You know, I hear this all the time. If you pick the right stuff, the right quality gear, you can make it happen almost every time. You really can. All right, if you like what you're seeing here on Flats Class YouTube, guys, please subscribe and please share it with all of your friends and your fishing buddies, your family. It's our job for the last 20 years of Flats Class to make all of you better inshore anglers. And that's our commitment to you. We want to be the authority, the people that you look forward to. So hit the like button, hit the notification button. Join us each and every week. We've got 2 and 3 tips for you guys. Now, I'm going to head back and finish that list that I started, I don't know, half an hour ago and get that wrapped up before I have to go to ICAST. In the meantime, as a going away, check out my buddy Casey Damron, who caught this monster redfish while we were on the outside of the Delta there with Rick Harnish, lifting up some really big, I mean super big bull redfish. Casey, take it away. I know you're hungry. All right, that's the final size of the fish, 40 inches. I mean, over 3.5 feet of redfish. Casey, you ready for a Snicker bar?
Please.
All right, let's make sure we release them healthy. Watch them swim away. Let them just swim out of your hand. Give them a minute.
He's gone.
He's gone.